Okay, let's take a look at how to solve these equations with variables on both sides of the equation. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure the entire problem is addition, which it is. So 3x plus 2 equals 5x. And this is off of a worksheet that students are doing. Okay, so the first step I'm going to do here is I'm going to divide this equation into two sides. Okay, and this is what we did when we did two-step equations. We divided the equation into two sides. So this isn't anything new. Now, we need to get our variable on one side only. Now, we never want to get rid of everything off of one side. So I don't want to subtract 5x from both sides because I won't have anything left over here. So what I want to do is take 3x from both sides. So I'm going to subtract 3x from here and take 3x from this side. Remember, whatever we do to one side, we have to do exactly the same thing to the other side. Now, what this is doing is this is getting 3x out of here. It's eliminating it from this side. So these are gone. Now we're left with just 2 here, and 2 equals 5x minus 3x, which is 2x. Okay, now we have a single step equation, and we just solve. So we want to get rid of just the 2, okay? So it's 2 times x, so to get rid of just that 2, we're going to divide by 2. And we do the same thing on both sides. These cancel. X equals 2 divided by 2, which is 1. Now you can try the answer up in the problem as well to make sure that it works out. So if I put 1 in here, 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5, okay? If I put a 1 in here, 5 times 1 is also 5, so it checks out. Alright, let's look at another one. Okay, here is number 2 off of the worksheet. I've added the opposite. I've divided the equation into two sides. Okay, so this was a 3 here, by the way. Okay, so my next step is I can't get rid of this 3n because there'll be nothing left. I'm going to get rid of the n. So I'm going to subtract n from both sides. Now remember, this is 1n. This is a negative 1n, or minus subtracting 1n. Okay, so if you want to put a 1 there, go right ahead and do that if that helps you to do the subtraction. Okay, so these cancel. You're left with negative 12 equals, in this case here, 2n. Because 3n minus 1n is 2n. Now we divide by 2 to isolate our variable, do the same thing on both sides. So n equals negative 12 divided by 2, which is negative 6. And once again we can try it. Negative 6 plus negative 12 is negative 18. 3 times negative 6 is also negative 18, so it checks out. Okay, here's number 3. I've divided the equation into two parts. I've added the opposite. This was 2 minus 3b. I changed it to plus negative 3b. Okay, now, it does not matter what I do here as far as if I add 3b to both sides to get rid of this, or if I subtract 7b from both sides to get rid of this. I'm going to add 3b to both sides because I like to add better than I like to subtract. So I'm going to add 3b, add 3b. You know, and the other thing is too, is this keeps a positive number with your variable, and that usually makes things a little easier. Okay, so these cancel. We're left with 2 equals 10b, okay, plus 12. Okay, now we have a two-step equation to solve it normally. Subtract 12 from both sides, subtract 12. Okay, these cancel. 10b equals 2 minus 12, which is negative 10. Next step, divide by 10. Divide by 10. These cancel. b equals negative 1. Negative 10 divided by 10 is negative 1. There's our answer on that one. Okay, number 4. All right, I've divided the equation into two sides, added the opposite here. Okay, now I'm going to either get rid of my 4d or my 2d, so I have my variable on one side. Okay, in this case here, I'm going to get rid of the smaller of the two, so I'm going to get rid of the 2d. So I have to subtract 2d. Go over here and subtract 2d. Same thing on both sides. Okay, these cancel. We're left with 7. Over here now we have 2d, because 4d minus 2d is 2d, plus negative 11. All right, now two-step equation, just solve it normally. Get rid of a negative 11, we add 11. So add 11 on both sides. These cancel. 2d equals 7 plus 11, which is 18. Next step, divide by 2, divide by 2. These cancel. D equals 9. Okay, let's take a look at one more. Here is number 5 off of the worksheet. Okay, once again, we're going to separate the equation into two sides. The equal sign is what separates it. Add the opposite here. Okay, now I'm going to get rid of my 2f from this side. Okay, I'm going to subtract 2f. Go over here, I'm going to subtract 2f. Alright, these are gone. Left with 3 equals 9f plus negative 24. Okay, now I'm going to add 24 to both sides to get rid of my negative 24. So I'm adding 24 on both sides here. These cancel. 9f equals 27. Get rid of my 9 by dividing by 9. I show that with the fraction bar. These cancel. F equals 27 divided by 9, which is 3. Okay, and this is help for worksheet 5.2. That's chapter 5, section 2 worksheet. That's the first 5 problems off of that worksheet.